Did you know there is a ratio in communication that is 7 is to 38 is to 55? Means only 7% is what you speak. I mean, the vocabulary, grammar, and all of that you keep worrying about, that is only 7% of communication. What are the rest? This trainer has explained them beautifully. She has also given out secrets on how you can improve your confidence, your fluency, your communication skills, and 3 to 4 simple activities which, if done just for 30 days, it can immensely transform how you speak. Also, do you know that if you incorporate just one simple thing in your speech, you will instantly sound more powerful? People will start listening to you. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced speaker, and you're looking to improve your confidence, English, communication skills, personality, interview skills, this video is an all in one package. This trainer is just unbelievable. And the way she explains with examples, everybody will be able to understand. My request is please do not just watch, forget, or leave it here. Watch it, listen in loop, and incorporate, implement whatever the trainer has told. This is one of the must watch videos on my channel. Hit the like button right now. I promise you won't regret it. Also, tell me in the comments what is the new thing that you learned from this conversation. Really, there is not a single dull moment. So, watch the complete conversation and share your feedback. You're going to love the question and answers of this conversation. So, let's watch the video now. Okay, good morning. First of all, thank you so much for accepting the invite. I truly appreciate it.
And even thank you to you as well for inviting me as a guest speaker. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much for that, for the opportunity, I would say.
Okay, so how is your morning shaping up? Did you have a busy morning?
Yeah, quite busy. Just got free from one session, which was around 10 a.m. And here I am for your session now. So I'm really excited to see what's coming next.
Yes,
What
I'm
about
excited
you?
as well. The feelings are mutual. So let's see how it goes on. So I would love
Absolutely.
to know about you. So please introduce yourself to my audience.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi everyone. As if that everybody is listening to me, I'm Trishti, and I originally belong from Varanasi. However, I've shifted to Pune for my soft skill and communication coach career, right? And it's been 2 years since I have been to Pune, and I'm working as a soft skill trainer for one of the organization, as well as I'm also working for one of the organization which is situated in Ahmedabad as a communication coach, where I train them for their communication leadership skills to business owners, senior leaders, college students. So whoever the audience is doesn't matter. My major focus is to just give the best what I have learned through these years and my experience, my knowledge. And now, just in last year in November, I've also started my content creation journey on Instagram, which is going great so far. I am believing that it will be even more. It will flourish with time and with experience, with knowledge. That's it about me. Thank you for
Okay.
asking, Sandha. Yeah.
That was a great introduction. And yes, definitely content creation will blow up, obviously, because you're putting really great content. I've seen some of your reels. And I think whenever we use celebrities or we quote their examples, that reels, they catch attention and they get a lot of views. And also, there is so much to learn about celebrities and how they communicate. Obviously, they have that means and the facilities, isn't it? They can undergo the training on how to speak, how to sit, how to smile, and everything. Thanks to social media for that.
Absolutely. I truly believe this that the celebrity has this privilege to undergo the training, the hardcore training, even if they don't know how to speak English. For example, Kangana Ranaut. She
Mm,
was very new to the industry when she did not even know how to speak a word in English, where she went into undergo very hardcore training. And that's where I believe that they have privilege, but not everyone has that privilege.
true
That's why it's
that.
important for us as coach and trainers and teachers to educate the audience who are not aware of that, right?
Definitely, yes. And do you also work as a freelancer? If somebody wants to contact you to get training, how can they do that? If you can also mention your Instagram handle so people can look for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I work as a freelancer as well. So right now, as mentioned, that I'm working for one organization which is situated in Ahmedabad. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
working as a freelancer trainer over there as a coach basically from last 1 year, I would say. So yeah, I work as a freelancer as well. Depends on my availability, of course. But I would love to collaborate in any way possible with the people who's listening to me right now or who wants to collaborate. My social media handle for Instagram is at the rate the Srishti Suman underscore. My LinkedIn profile is Srishti Suman, nothing more fancy.
Yeah, but when you add the Srishti Suman, right, it sounds elegant and it sounds
Exactly.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. I also chose this username because I have seen people using usernames like speak with XYZ
Yes.
or confidence with ABC. So I just thought that my username should be a little different to all of these basic usernames. I don't call them basic, but for me, I wanted something different. So that's where I just thought to have this one.
Of course, because it is not only maybe in the future you might venture into more things. So it is just about the
Right.
Srishti Suman. You're not implying that I deal only with confidence or communication skills training. So yeah, that's good. And how is your career going on? Are you satisfied with your choice?
Absolutely. I'm thriving over here. I would say that I have literally tried 10 to 15 things before coming into software and communication. I have tried fashion designing, I have tried makeup artist, I have tried air hostess, I
Oh.
have tried what not to enter to just know what is my interest area. And that's what I teach and preach to my students as well. That don't just rush over one thing. You need to
Mm.
explore for yourself that where your interest lies, where you feel most happy. And ever since I have joined my soft skill training career or my communication career, I have to say that I'm thriving over here. Every
Mm.
single day it feels like motivation, and I want to wake up in the morning to do my job. So that's
Oh.
how it's going on.
Oh, wow. That is so nice to hear first thing in the morning. This is my first session, and it's really nice to know that. And now there is no looking back. So I think everybody
Absolutely.
explores. Now they have that privilege. It was not like 90s or 80s kids where you don't have that privilege. You cannot try or risk anything. Now you have the opportunities and you can like sit at your home and explore what you want to do. And also your parents are supportive at this stage. So that also
Absolutely.
counts.
Truly stand by this.
Okay, so I have a list of questions, so we'll just dive straight into it because it is a long list. I hope we complete it in the session today. Okay, so there is a gap between fluency and confidence. People can speak fluently. This was me 2 years ago. I could speak fluently, but I was not confident. So, why do you think that gap even exists? Once you're fluent, why are you not even confident?
The gap exists because of confidence. I mean, it's a psychology gap, I would say, because fluency is a language skill, right? People are fluent in English, Marathi, Bengali, in their native language so much because they have been speaking that since childhood. However, when it
Mhm.
comes to speaking in front of group of people, they just get shiver. They start getting freeze. And that's not the fluency problem. That is the confidence problem because we have never put ourselves on the situations on the podium where we have to speak intentionally every single time when we have spoken. It is because somebody has given us chance or it is because under pressure. So this is why the fluency matters, but confidence matters more than fluency. Fluency is a language skill, and confidence is a psychology. And that's why if people know how to speak fluently any language but are not confident, it's because they have not explored yet a lot of things right now.
Yes, and I think you are always underconfident before you start doing anything. So it doesn't matter whether you're fluent, not fluent. Once you have the practice of doing things, I think fluent confidence automatically builds up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Confidence is a byproduct of practice, preparation, and performance.
And also knowledge, I guess. Once you have
Yeah,
that
yeah.
require knowledge,
Sure
it
thing.
adds to
Sure
it.
thing.
Okay.
Knowledge also.
So do you think communication is more about language or more about psychology? We are coming to communication now.
I would say that communication is 80% less about psychology and 20% about confidence.
Okay.
Because I believe, yeah, I believe that the way you communicate, sometimes you will see that even the person who don't know how to speak or who don't know what to speak but know how to speak really performs well than the person who know what to speak but don't know how to speak. So it's all about the way you carry yourself, the way you feel about yourself from inside. Because I truly believe that If you love yourself, if you know very well about yourself, you are confident at most of the places. And if
Mm.
you don't know about yourself, if you are always unsure of your answer, of your thoughts, of your ideas, you are going to face the fears of judgment, rejection, failures, and the fear of being perfect. So this is,
Mm.
I believe that communication is more about psychology than confidence. I mean, it is about confidence. Sorry, yeah, confidence
Language.
as well. But yeah, sorry, language as well. But I believe that psychology plays 80% of part over here.
Yes, because many people think I do not know the language. That is why I cannot be a good communicator. But again, there are two different things. Communication is like you can communicate in any language. But when you lack, it is not mainly about only language, it is also about psychology.
Truly said. Absolutely. I truly stand by this.
And also, you spoke about self love. If you love yourself, if you know where you stand, then automatically you will have good communication skills. That's a great point.
That's why I always ask my clients and students to always sit with yourself at least 10 minutes a day and just introspect about you. Who are you? What do you want from this life? What is the purpose of you? Why do you feel scared? Why do you feel happy? I mean, what gives you happy and confidence? Just explore things about you. That gives you immense amount of confidence.
Yes, and I think it is all interrelated because not every
Yeah,
coach does that, right? Like communication
right.
skills, then stand here, speak to yourself, but look within yourself. That is also a very valid and deep point.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so why does our body panic before speaking, even when we are prepared? So, first of all, does preparation really matter? If yes, then like even though we are prepared, sometimes we shiver before speaking. Happens to everyone. So, please tell me about this.
This happens. I mean, this is one of my favorite questions because most of time in my sessions also, my clients, my students ask about this, that ma'am, I was very well prepared and why I was not able to speak. I
Mhm.
said that because you have a lot of fears. You have a lot of mindset blockage which you need to remove, which you need to just get reduced, and only then you will be able to speak. You know what? I believe that preparation practice is something which is utterly important intuitively. However, even sometimes the person or anyone who is really confident and knows how to present but has not prepared well can still present because that person has already mastered the art of communication body language. That's why I believe that preparation practice is just, there is no comparison for that. It's actually important.
Mm.
However, I would say that something which is communication, I mean, if you feel panic, if you feel shivering, if you feel freezing, then that's because you have fear of judgment. That's because you still have fear of failure. That's because you still have fear of being perfect. And you feel that even if my one single mistake will just ruin my world and the world will be at the end of the day. So this is why you need to just get out of that blockage and you need to tell yourself that humans makes mistake. You are not a robot, you are a human. And it's absolutely fine to make mistake because I mean I always again tell this to my students that only if you have to make any long life or any lifelong connection with that specific room with that specific person, think about that yes, you have made mistake. For instance, if speaking in front of my family and friends and I have
Mm.
made any mistake, there would be two different personalities. Either I would be really embarrassed, or I
Mm.
would feel that okay, fine, they are my friends and family, they will not
Yes.
judge me.
Mm.
However, if I'm speaking in front of completely strangers in a room where only there are strangers, I would be panicking because I would know that yes, they are going to judge me. But what if I feel the opposite? That because they're not my family and friends, I do not have to make my connections throughout this life. I can make mistakes. That's fine. They will forget that Shrishti has made mistake last year in 2025 in December. They will not remember that. All they will remember is your key message, your presentation, right?
Yes.
So that's very important. You do not have to. You first have to just get out of that blockage, and only then you will be able to present yourself or present the way you want to present.
Yes, and I think it's really hard not to crack mastering over this fear. I think everything comes with a practice.
Absolutely.
And I think
Right.
affirmations also help you. Keep telling yourself that you're
Yeah.
not scared, so that your
Affirmations,
brain
yeah.
believes it.
Absolutely. Even when I start my any session, my first 2 weeks are only dedicated to change their mindset.
Wow.
Because even after they have learned the whole course, but they're still not able to speak, that just breaks my heart. I say that
Mm-hmm.
we have put a lot of effort into you and you are still not able to speak. I got to know that this is not because of you lack of preparation, but this is because the mindset blockage that you are still carrying, the baggage which you are still carrying from your past. That's why it's very important to overcome that. So I majorly have regret sessions in my coaching classes where I just
Oh,
ask one by one in a room what are your regrets and how you want to overcome that. That makes them feel really lighthearted.
okay. I think you can make an amazing life coach as well. Why don't you try it?
Very soon.
I think in the future you can think about it. Okay, so what's your advice for someone who freezes in interviews or meetings?
Could you please come again?
Yeah, sure. What's your advice for someone who freezes in interviews or meetings? Happens, right? You go for an
Obviously,
interview,
yes.
you freeze. So, what is your advice for that?
Yes, I mean, a lot of clients come in front of me and say that, you know what, Shrishti, I'm wonderful in technical skills. Like there is no comparison, no competition in technical skills with me.
Hmm.
But when it comes to soft skill or communication, I drop immensely. And I don't know how to do that. So there was this one of my client who has gone through 80 interviews
Mm-hmm.
and he got rejected 80 times, not because of his technical but because of his communication skill. He was really devastated at that moment. I said that it's okay, it's fine, I understand, I get your situation. And I believe that why people freezes is because they are very conscious about what they have to say. They're very conscious about one, two, three, four questions: short term, long term goal, introduce yourself,
Mm.
where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years, where do you want to join this company. So I believe that they're very conscious about the questions and the answers rather than presenting themselves in front of the recruiter. I truly believe this, that if you are a real person, you don't have to show the real side that you are aggressive or you are a very shy person, you're an introvert. But nevertheless, you still have to show that yes, you are confident, you know how to present, even if you have skipped any one to two sentence or you have said one to two sentence wrong. But you know how to cover that up, you know how to speak spontaneously, you know how to present yourself with voice modulation,
Mm-hmm.
posture, your structure with your answers. I believe that's what the recruiters actually see.
That's amazing for people who have interviews or who are working professionals. I'm sure it's going to be beneficial for them. So,
Right.
okay, can you explain, because you just mentioned about tonality and intonation pauses and everything, can you explain how tone and voice control change the way people perceive us? Because some people just speak in a flow and very fast and they do not have proper intonation. Yes, they are fluent, but it changes the perspective of people who are listening to them. So please tell me how tone and voice control change the way people perceive us.
For this one, I would like to present one example that every person, even you and me, we also have our favorite singers, right?
Yes.
And they sing in a really melodious way.
Mm-hmm.
What if they start singing, or what if they just start speaking every word? How that will sound? I mean, we just want to just close our ears and want to sleep at that moment because we do not want to listen those singers who are only reciting the words and not
Mm-hmm.
singing in a way that they should be singing. So I believe that for every single person on this planet, your vocal or your voice modulation is your instrument. Your throat, your diaphragm, and the way you speak is what your real instrument lies into yourself. So that's where the vocal or the voice modulation plays a massive role, and it really changes the way people see, look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a leader is not speaking from diaphragm, I would say, because most of the time people are very confused at how to speak from throat, how to speak from diaphragm, what is the
Yes.
difference in all of these things. They just get really confused. I say that you don't have to be perplexed in this situation. You
Mm-hmm.
just need to understand that if a leader, if a manager is speaking in a very flat tone, in a very linear way. For example, good morning, everyone. I am Nikhil, and today I'm here to take your meeting for our next sales meeting. So I hope that everybody has come up with their projects. Nobody is going to take you seriously at all, Nikhil. I mean, what are you doing there? So please upgrade the way you speak, upgrade the way you show yourself. And that's
Hmm.
where a leader just use his voice modulation as in, good morning, everyone. I'm Nikhil. And today I'm here to take the meeting, or today I'm here to conduct the meeting on our next sales, on our next sales meeting. Then certainly the members are going to take you seriously. Not because that your authority has rose, it's because that the way you are speaking is now having clarity, leadership, and emotional stability. That's where
Hmm.
the voice modulation matters the most.
Amazing. And you take so many sessions, right? I'm sure your vocal cords are exhausted. How do you manage to be energetic? Because the field that you have chosen, you have to be energetic. You have to keep smiling. You have to maintain the same energy throughout the day. And speaking is quite difficult. Even when you have three, four sessions, your throat is gone. Like you feel exhausted. Speaking also, it's not only that if you're doing physical activity, only then you're tired. Even speaking is really a good activity and you get tired by doing that as well. So how do you cope up with that?
I would say, I mean, a very simple answer would be that because I love my job so much that I do not feel that level of exhaustion. However, of course, I'm a human too.
Yes.
I will definitely feel exhausted. Therefore, for that reason, I keep drinking water. Or what
Hmm.
I do, that if I have 3 to 4 hours of session back to back, or let's say that if I have one session for 1.5 hours, the next session for the another 1.5 hours. So in between of that, I just sit for 5 minutes, I drink water, I rest. And
Mhm.
then after, when I go back to my session, I start, if I'm really exhausted, then I'm telling you in this condition, what I do that I start the session with with some activities which they have to do, which my clients and my students have to do. Where
Hmm.
I just guide them, I provide them the instructions and the materials, and they have to just follow the pattern. Once that is done, then I have just regained my energy, my all the enthusiasm, and then I just start the session in a very full-fledged way. So I just do such things because, of course, being as a coach, I cannot sit for half an hour just to reset my energy. That's not
Yes.
plausible at all.
Yes.
Therefore, I have to find some quick solutions for this. So that's how I just do it. And the best part about my job, I would say that because in this job I love to interact with people, and because in this job I interact with people on almost a daily basis, new people, of course. So
Hmm.
therefore, even if I am exhausted, even if I am not doing well in any way, after going in the session I just forget every single thing and I just feel that yes, I'm meant to be here. So this is how I feel that everything just follows up accordingly.
Yes, our mind gets diverted. You don't think about
Right.
then. See, if you're just sitting and thinking, your body will always be complaining this.
Exactly.
But when you're talking to somebody, when you're in front of somebody, and that too, this is online, so your mind gets distracted. So you can rest
Right.
and reset. Great.
Absolutely.
What role does body language play in communication?
My one word answer would be 55%.
55%. That's
55%
a
of
major
your,
part.
yes, yes. So there is this rule called as 7 is to 38 is to 55, which means that 7% of your whole communication is all about your verbal communication, which means the words you are speaking.
That's it.
38% is, yeah, yeah, that's it. And that's what I tell to my students, that the more you're emphasizing on what you have to speak, the more you're losing the part on how you have to speak, because it only plays
Hmm.
7% of role. And to your surprise, to all the other people who are listening to me right now, to their surprise, in the first 7 seconds, the recruiter gets to know that whether this candidate is to be hired or not.
Oh, seven
So that's
seconds.
quickly they just judge you because of the posture, because of the way you have entered, the way you have presented yourself, the expression that you have used while greeting them, the hand gestures, every single thing matters in that first 7 seconds.
Wow.
7% for verbal communication, 38% for vocal communication, your tonality, your pitch, your pace, your articulation, and the rest
Wow.
is 55%, which is non-verbal communication.
Wow.
And not to mention, again, I would love to give one more example on this. We have two major example to understand the role, the importance of body language is the movie Barfi of Priyanka Chopra and Ranveer Kapoor.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
movie is completely based on actions,
Yes.
smiles, gestures. There
Yes.
was not a single word which was uttered by the actors in that movie. And the second, our beloved cartoon, which is Mr. Bean,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even Mr. Bean cartoon
Yes.
always makes sure to convey their message through the actions, through the gestures, through the expression, but not by the words.
Yes.
So body language plays immense amount of role. And apart from these examples, why it also matters, because people can only see you half.
Mm.
They cannot
True.
see complete, right? And if they see very half portion of you and the portion seems really boring to them, then they are going to distract very easily, very instantly, I would say. This is why you need to keep your shoulders moving. You need to keep your hand gestures moving.
Mm.
And by saying hand gesture, I do not mean just use your normal hand gestures. Try to make shapes and sizes. Try to make it relatable the way you are speaking, the stories, the information. Try to use expression, raise your eyebrows.
Mm.
Just stretch your mouth and make them feel that yes, you are taking to them in that moment, in that past.
Yes.
Just make sure that your audience is feeling relatable and connected at every single second of your speech. That's when non-verbal communication matters the most, and it's just unbeatable. And I would say indubitably it's the most important thing in
That's quite
communication.
enlightening. I mean, also smile and nod. I think these also when because
Yeah,
they're only able to see up to here if it is online. So then your facial
yeah,
expressions and at least not so that sometimes you
not
get
exactly.
confused whether that person is getting your point or no, whether they're able to hear
Yeah,
you or no. You get confused. So when you're nodding, it
right.
is like yes, you're receiving their signal.
Yes, you are receiving the message. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. And there's one more movie. There's an old movie that is, I think it is Pushpaka Vimanam, something, Kamal Hassan movie. So even in that movie, there is no speech. Beautiful acting,
Oh,
and you don't even realize that they have not spoken throughout the movie. It's an old movie, so if you want to check it out, you can do that.
yes, yes, I will certainly
Okay. So if someone wants to sound more powerful instantly, what is one small change they can make?
speak slow.
Ah,
One word answer is speak slow. I mean, I've seen that most of the time people start speaking fast because they're nervous. And
yes.
that's human psychology again. That because
Mm.
you're nervous, you will start speaking fast. And because you're speaking fast, you will again feel nervous. That is a loop right now that is going on. If you want to instantly sound confident, start speaking slow.
Low.
Learn from our Mr. Prime Minister, our Mr. Narendra Modi
True.
sir.
True.
I mean, he's an eloquent speaker. Priyanka Chopra, Shah Rukh Khan, they are the eloquent speakers of our country, of our nation. And the way they speak, they do not rush their message. They speak in such an authoritative way that you can understand every single damn word they are speaking, they're uttering out their mouth. And not because that their answers are too structured or they're using very fancy vocabularies. It is because that they're speaking slow, they are buying time to think better, and they're asking questions out of that. So basically, speaking slow is not just about speaking. It is
Mm.
also about that you can think qualitative thinking. We're
Yes.
not just focusing on thinking now. If
Hmm.
you will ask me a question and I don't know the answer instantly, I would just take my speed slow so that I could think better. Because speaking slow gives you time to think better and to speak better as well. That's why speaking slow by 20%, you have to reduce it the moment
Hmm.
you think that you have to be perfect.
And sound powerful, and people will actually listen to you when you start
Absolutely.
speaking slow rather than if you're fast, they'll start losing interest in listening to you.
Best. Yeah, true, truly said.
I've noticed people who speak slowly with pauses. Are
Yeah,
they, is that the reason why they are taken more seriously? And perfect
yeah,
example would be Palki Sharma. So, like,
yeah.
she pauses like a boss. I've not heard anybody speak like her. So, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. There are also strategic pauses which you have to use. Pause does not mean to just pause anytime, anywhere. It means that you are using it strategically. For instance, moving from one point to another. For instance, emphasizing any specific point, any specific information you want your audience to get received. For instance, before you start, you have to take that pause. You have to look around the room. You have to read the room. If you're a leader, you cannot
Hmm.
directly start by saying good morning, good afternoon. You have to read the room, that is everybody present, is everybody there in the room mentally, physically. And then you have to start. That beginning pause is also utterly important. The end pause after you end the speech is also very important. So there are multiple pauses which you use in order to make your presentation powerful. And yes, pause is really, utterly, profoundly important, imperative, I would say. There is no comparison. And you cannot just, because I was listening to this one TED Talks where this speaker explored 30 years of his life just getting the major informations of communication, and he marked out 101 rules of communication in that 30 years. And he was decoding the top 5 communication rules which every person used to follow. And one of them was certainly pause.
Hmm.
And I would say that with pause, if you want to make it more powerful, with pause, try to build eye contact in the room. If there is a pause, but there is no eye contact, there is no authority, then I don't think that pause will make any sense to you or to the audience. So it's very
Yes.
important to follow every single step with pause as well.
I think it will confuse the audience. They might end up thinking maybe she forgot what she wanted to speak
Yeah,
in
right,
not
right.
having eye contact.
Absolutely. Even I would like to give one example. I went to this TED Talks last year in Symbiosis International School,
Mm-hmm.
and there was this small kids of 9 years, 10 years, 14 years who were giving presentations as a TED Talks speaker. There was this one boy who spoke about water. And I have to tell you, Shanta, that in that presentation, in midway, he forgot his line. And he forgot his line so massively that he took a pause of around 12 to 15 seconds.
Okay.
The whole auditorium was completely silent. He was silent, and even though not a single second we felt that he was panicking, he was freezing, or he was shivering, he
Mm-hmm.
carried himself in a very immense amount of confident way that even we were able to, we were just curious what is he going to say next, because of the pause, of the long pause that he took. And after that pause, he circled back on what he was saying, and the shift which he made after pause was not underconfident.
Mm.
It was really confident. So I learned that from a 14-year-old kid,
Yeah.
that if a 14-year-old kid can do it, then why cannot we can do it, right? With just the right amount of practice and guidance, every single thing is possible.
Yes, I think you just have to keep your mind open and keep looking, keep observing, and you learn so much from people around you. Okay, so what
Absolutely.
should someone stop doing immediately if they want to sound more confident?
Stop them immediately.
Yes.
I would say that if they want to sound more confident, and if they have to do one thing, if they have to stop doing one thing, then that would be not having messy thoughts.
Hmm. True.
Because if I have a lot of information, or if I have really less information, in both of the cases, if I don't have the clarity of thought, I cannot present. Even though if I have immense amount of knowledge, information, I don't know how to structure that, I cannot present. So I would say that if you want to stop doing one thing, then stop focusing on thoughts, start focusing on structure, start focusing on clarity. And
Hmm.
there are certain structural frameworks which we have learned and which we teach in communication, like prep, what,
Hmm.
now what, so what, why, how, what. So these frameworks helps really in order to give your thoughts a structure. Because if you want to speak on spot or anywhere with preparation, on spot, impromptu, structures and frameworks gives you a, I would say it just gives you a pushback, or it is a
True.
backup for you,
It is a
which you can
backup when
use.
you don't know what to speak. You can just fall back on the framework and not on the sentences that you want to speak.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So, are there any daily exercises you personally recommend for building strong communication?
Yes, I do. For your pronunciation, which I believe that most of the times, even we as a trainer and coaches, I've seen that people don't often emphasize on this, on the pronunciation part. Or even the students, the clients often don't think that pronunciation or enunciation is really important. They
Yes.
just focus on building English speaking language or having confidence. They do
Hmm.
not know that how much pronunciation and enunciation plays role, the crucial, the vital role, I would say. So because people say that, you know what, my accent is so weak because I belong from village. I say that no, your accent is not weak, your pronunciation is weak. Master
Hmm.
that. So this is why clarity of speech is utterly imperative. And for that, I always ask my student to do two exercises in the beginning.
Mhm.
First is certainly tongue twisters, which is my personal favorite. I love to do tongue twisters. And the second one is reading anything loud.
Okay.
And not just loud, but also by stretching your muscles of your mouth. For example, if I want to say that good morning, I would say that good morning, which is
Okay.
stretching your muscles. By
Hmm.
doing that, your muscles becomes more flexible. Just like yoga is important for our body to make it more flexible, similarly, these
Hmm.
exercises is also equally important to make our mouth more flexible. And that gives you clarity of speech so much. Even if you're nervous, you're fumble, you won't be fumbling while pronunciation any word. So that's why tongue twisters and reading out loud with stretchy mouth is two exercises which I always give to my students and clients to practice upon. Second, I would say it would be structured speech, because I always teach them frameworks in the very beginning of my session so that they can start using that also. I
Hmm.
teach them prep, start, what, now what, so what, such structures and frameworks which will help them to speak properly in structured way. Third and the last, I would say that it is certainly record and review method, which I believe you also must have listened about that, right?
Yes.
That you
Yes.
have to record yourself any time of the day for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever it is. Review yourself in three different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And also review yourself not instantly, but after 24 hours.
Okay.
Because after 24 hours, your mind gets relaxed. You stop judging yourself the way you have spoken. The next day, when you will get up with a very fresh mind, you will watch yourself, you will look at yourself with a fresh mind. As a viewer, as an audience, that what I have done wrong, what I have done right. And then there is also three ways to review yourself, not a single way to just watch and understand.
Mm-hmm.
First method, that you have to just turn down your phone and you do not have to look the video. Just listen
Oh,
the audio.
okay.
Yes, just listen
Uh-huh.
the audio that what am I saying is really correct or incorrect. Second, after listening, I mean, while you're listening, always mark down the points where you
Mm-hmm.
have done wrong, what you have done right. It's very important to also write down the points.
Mm-hmm.
Second, that now you have to turn up your phone. Now, just slow down your audio, or just make
Okay.
it zero, just
Okay.
make the volume zero,
Mm-hmm.
and watch yourself just like that, just like your body language, your expressions. Yeah, just scan yourself properly on the basis of non-verbal communication.
Hmm.
And then again, note down your points, what you have done right, what you have done wrong, and where you have to improve. The
Yes.
third and the last part is to now properly watch a video with audio and the video as well. So that's how you analyze yourself in these three methods. It sounds a little difficult to do that in everyday basis, but
Yes.
trust me, if a person will do it for just a month, he or she will see major difference.
Wow, that's amazing. And it is so informative. Thank you so much. Okay, so what is one mindset shift that changes everything in communication?
I believe in communication, the most imperative thing or the mindset shift which a person needs to have is that confidence is not born, confidence is made. And
Oh.
people who speak confidently is not because that they were confident in the beginning, because they have put themselves on the pedestal to be confident. So rather than blaming or being a victim mindset, start putting yourself in the situations intentionally and see that what you can do right, how much you can face your fear, and how you have to overcome that. Again, say this every single time, your fear is just your fear, nothing else.
True,
So
true.
if you want to overcome the fear, because I believe that communication, English language, fluency, structure, every single thing comes really later. The
Hmm.
first and the foremost is your mindset. If that is not built, nothing else is going to make any sense over there.
Hmm.
That's where you have to do the shift that confidence is not born, it is made. And people, those who are confident, are not born, they have proved themselves to be
Hmm.
that person.
They've
So rather
built
than
it over
having a
time.
victim mindset, yeah, don't have a victim mindset, start having a go-getter mindset.
Wow. Okay. One last question. We just have 2 more minutes. Okay. So, if you
Okay.
could give only one piece of advice to intermediate English learners who want to speak confidently, what would it be? Because beginners, they're not confident because they don't even know the language properly. Once you're in intermediate stage, all of these comes communication skills, building confidence. So, just one piece of advice to intermediate learners.
For intermediate learners, my one bracket advice would be mindset, because there cannot be one single advice, but my bracket advice has to be mindset, your fear that you have to overcome. But the major would be having structure in your thoughts. Because as an intermediate, you can speak English
Yeah.
and you are somewhere fluent.
Yes.
Certainly, you cannot speak in a very advanced way, but at least you can still present yourself the way you want to. And having clarity of thoughts is utterly important. So I would say that every single step is important in communication, but having clarity of thoughts is the first one.
Hmm.
Because if you don't have clarity in what you are speaking, you're going to fumble, you are going to mess up your information, your presentation, and then neither your vocal communication nor your non-verbal communication is going to matter. So
Yes.
that's where the clarity is utterly important for the intermediate
That's
communicators.
true. Thank you so much. This session was so enlightening, and there was no dull moment at all, not even for a second. So, thank you so much. I really appreciate you again joining and sharing the information. I've learned so much from this session. So, yeah.
Then I enjoyed a lot, Shantha. So thank you so much for inviting me as a guest speaker. It meant a lot, and even I enjoyed throughout this question and answering podcast, I would say. So that was amazing having you and having you, my question being asked by. Thank you so much for this session.
Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Same to you. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.